All right, everybody, we're back once again. We got 2 episodes this week. We might be hitting you with 2 episodes a week from here on out. We got the preview episode that came out yesterday, and now today we got the review episode that came out yesterday. Now we got the new review episode that's coming out today. So very excited about that. And we're going to be hitting you guys with all this great breakdowns every single week. I want to appreciate all the subscribers that subscribed from the last episode. We really appreciate you. We went up like 200 subscribers. We love it. Keep subscribing. Keep telling everybody that you know. We really appreciate all the love we get in the comments as well, too. I'm going to try to make sure if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys ask questions. We'll go ahead and answer those in the comments if you have any questions after the show. All right? So, like I said, it's me and BD. We are Tape Don't Lie. Follow me at the Mark John NFL. Follow BD at BD Williams 18. Make sure you hit subscribe, and we're gonna go previewing the Saints. So, how you feeling, BD?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great going into this long weekend. We got a couple days now before Raider football. So
I know. I wish it was Sunday, but we got Monday.
We're giving the fans something to think about over the weekend, over this long weekend.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right, so let's go ahead and let's just get into it. Let's go ahead and get into the defense of what we expect to see from the Saints. All right, so the Saints, they are a really good defense all around, right? They play the pass well and they play the run well. So they're one of those defenses. Usually in the NFL, teams that play the pass well, sometimes they don't stop the run as well as they play the pass, but the Saints are different. They play both at a high level. All right. Now, it's funny you say that because, Dennis Allen is the defensive coordinator for the Saints, and we all know how that went for the Raiders. But he's a better defensive coordinator than he's a leader. Let's just say that. So he uses a lot of exotic coverages. He mixes it up a lot, especially what he was doing to Tom Brady. He did a good job of confusing Tom and confusing what coverage that he was showing and what the look was and what they were doing, whether they're a man or not. Right. So this week, though, I expect to see more man-to-man because they're going to sell out a little bit to stop the run. And I think they're going to try to make Derek Carr, and the wide receivers outside win against their really, really high-level corners because they got Marshawn Lattimore, they got Janoris Jenkins, they got Chancey Gardner-Johnson down there in the slot. And, they got some good pass rushers in Cam Jordan. I don't think Marcus Davenport won't be going this week, but they had some good fill-ins. I think Tim Hendrickson is his name. He had a good game last week. So
right,
they got a lot of good players, and they got a good D-line. They got Sheldon Rankins. I think his name's Michael Roach. He had a good game too. On his tape, he was blowing up some outside zone runs. So they are pretty good. And I didn't even talk about the linebackers. I didn't even talk about Demario Davis yet. Or Marcus Williams, you know what I'm saying? So they're pretty stacked on defense, and they play everything well. So we're going to start going into that. So we got this first play here against the Bucs, and you see Chris Godwin. He's going to motion into the backfield, and, the Saints are in man-to-man cover one. So Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is going to follow him to the backfield. We're going to watch how they play this power runner, all right? So let's go ahead and check this out. See some excellent stuff. Gardner Johnson played like a linebacker. He playing like a linebacker, bro. It's nice. That's a nice fit right there. So we'll see this from the backside. It's funny that the Bucs actually what they did with this play is they actually ran a play action and actually had Chris Godwin run a route from this formation, and it got a big chunk play. So it's interesting how they do this, but it's just interesting to me that they bring an extra guy into the box, which, I guess you expect Chris Godwin to block like that, but, that's what Bruce Arians does. Go ahead.
For reference, Chris Godwin, from my tape study last year, was one of the best blocking wide receivers I've seen in a long time. Fantastic.
Yes. That's what Bruce Arians does, man. He has a slot receivers block. That's what Larry Fitzgerald was mad for a little bit. He didn't like that. Larry Fitzgerald can block, but he didn't like being a slot blocker for a little bit. He was kind of upset about it, but he got over it. It's kind of funny. But Gardner Johnson has played. Look at him. Look at him, that run fit. See, that's what I'm talking about. They're getting pushed back from the line. So you can see that Ali Marpet's a really good guard. They got a good center too. They're really getting some push on the Saints defensive line here, but the Saints have a good defense all around. You see Malcolm Jenkins and Gardner Johnson already filling in this gap and making this play in the backfield. I mean, that's a safety making that play like a linebacker. And he did this a couple times in this game when they ran this. So I mean, he's a
Really good player. Yeah,
he's a pretty special player. All right, so here we go. We see some success though with some power run game, and that's why it's important for the Raiders to stick with the run, even if they get stopped early a couple of times. I think they have to make sure that the Saints fear the run and then run some play action off of it. I mean, they maybe should even start the game with play action on first down. I believe that they should be come out passing and especially if they come in cover one and doing some Yankees and some crossing routes off of play action early if they're going to come and try to go all out and stop the run, which I do believe they're going to do. I think they're going to go all out to stop the run, especially at the beginning of the game. I mean, in the second half, if the Raiders come out with a good game plan, they might adjust. But early on, they're going to be going all out to stop the run. But the Raiders can't give up on it, and they got to make sure that they make some play action with it. Last week, they had a lot of play action. 37% of their dropbacks were play action. So I hopefully we will see more of that. All right, so let's go ahead and run this play. So this is a good run by the Bucks. Got a good chunk yards here. And this is your basic lead power. Nice little pull from 65. Take it to the second level. Boom, nice seal. Good seal right there. Good block by 76 at 21 yards. And good read by Ronald Jones here.
Ronald Jones. Who knew he had it in him?
he had an okay game, man. I thought he played all right.
He did
all right. He ran hard. I think he has a little bit of vision issues, but he ran hard, man. He ran hard. It's good. Nice little fake right there. Nice job following his blockers. Boom. Nice job finding the hole there. Break a tackle. That's a hard run, man. But that's what I'm saying. If the Raiders can stick with it, I think they can win, especially with their big line. I think this is a game where they can't go with the huge jumbo packages, I believe. I think they're going to have to try to run the ball from 11 personnel and kind of do what the Bucks are doing here and kind of spreading it out a little bit and creating easy boxes. So they're big, so the big Gabe Jackson, Richie Incognito, those big boys can get up there and get to that second level and blow some boys up. So I think that's kind of got to be their focus. I think they can't be scared of the Saints run defense. They can't be terrified of it. Like, they have to focus and stick with their game plan, mix some play action off it, because I think the Saints are going to be selling out to stop the run. Just listening to what Cam Jordan was saying in his interview, he talked about Josh Jacobs like 5 times. So I kind of feel like that's a little bit of the focus here.
For sure.
All right, so let's get to the passing defense here. So the Saints are a really good passing defense. They got some really good corners. Like I said, they got Janoris Jenkins, who's played really well for the Saints. They got Marshawn Lattimore, who a lot of people would say is top 10 corner in the league. They got Malcolm Jenkins, who could play slot corner. They got, like I said, they got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who could play slot corner. So they got a lot of guys in here who can play man-to-man defense. So they love to play press.
Yeah.
All right, they love to press. That's what's one thing they do love to do is do press man coverage. All right. Now, as you see here, there's 2 high on this one. So we got cover 2 man. Now this is basically 2 high coverage with man underneath. All right. And they're full on press coverage here. So this is, and what you're going to see, Tom Brady's going to try to go to O.J. Howard here on the slant. And O.J. Howard's going to have a little bit of trouble with his release with Malcolm Jenkins. It does end up being a pass interference, but still, you get an idea of how tough it's going to be for the Raiders to get open here. And the Raiders wide receivers better come to play. They gotta separate. And we feel like that they upgraded even with the depth. I mean, even Nelson Aguilar in the slot is not an easy guy to guard. He would give Malcolm Jenkins a little bit of issues in the slot. So even if Ruggs doesn't go and they put Aguilar in some of these situations, I think he has a chance to separate, especially against man-to-man. So I do think with the plays that John Gruden does call against man-to-man, the Raiders are going to have some concepts where they're going to have some open men, right? but it's still going to be a tough task to even for especially the young receivers to get open on this press coverage. These are guys are pros. I mean, these guys are special. So, all right, man to man, you see it. Sticky coverage all around. All right. Malcolm Jenkins a little all over him, but it depends on what side are you on. If you're a DB, you probably don't think that's a pass interference. If you're a wide receiver, you're like, yeah, that's pass interference. But as you can see, that is the sticky coverage that they're going to play all game. They're going to be sticky like that here. And let's look at the D line. They're going to be running a stun here, but the Bucs do pick it up very, very well. So you see that with the stunt, Cam Jordan's going to come back inside, but that's some good communication. I mean, Alec Marpet, he's a pro. These guys are pros, right? That's a great communication right there by the line switching off. The Raiders offensive line's got to do the same thing. They're going to have to be just prepared for this because these boys are going to be coming for them. It's good, clean pocket for Tom. Just some sticky coverage, even though it's a flat. All right, so let's check out another coverage here. So this is a little bit of cover one. Sometimes they call this cover one rat, just because the linebacker's coming up to the zone. This is a great concept by Bruce Arians to exploit this man coverage, and this is something that maybe hopefully we can see John do. So on this one, I'm gonna take it back even a little bit further. So you see the motion, right? And they are playing off this time, so it's a little different. But the motion, now we got a safety lined up on Chris Godwin, right? And now Marshall Lattimore, he's lined up over O.J. Howard. So we got a good matchup here in this man-to-man coverage, right? So this is some of the things that John has to do. He has to try to create some great matchups in space, especially if they're in off coverage. He's got to work that out and make sure that, especially with their keying on Josh Jacobs, run some play action, kind of like they do on this play, and get some open looks downfield. And this play action, get the linebacker suck up a little bit, right? Get back in coverage. This is a dime from Tom Brady. That throw, bam, that's a beautiful throw. But that's the type of plays the Raiders got to do, especially against the Saints team. They got to run play action and exploit this team if they come and try to play man to man. And the Raiders team, they got to win. The Raiders receivers have to win as well. And let's take it back just for the Raiders fans that love a great pass rush or whatever, right? They want to see a pass rush every 5 seconds. Let's watch the Saints defensive line. This is Cam Jordan. Look! Are they? Look, he's setting the edge. Oh,
Wait, are you telling me that they're not rushing the passer on a pass play?
They were rushing the passer. I know it's crazy, right? That's wild.
You're telling me they're trying to stop the run? They're trying to stop the run on a pass play? That's unheard of, bro.
That's unheard of, man. You never see stuff like that. So, but that's what they got to do. The Raiders have to do play action, take some deep shots, play action, but also the short game is going to be there too with the man-to-man if they run some good designs. I know John will be ready for this game. So I'm excited to see what they can do against the Saints. It's going to be a good challenge. We're going to see how good this offense really is this week. That's basically what we're going to find out. If this is a really good offense, which I think they are. I still think they'll be able to move the ball on the Saints. They just can't make mistakes. They can't have any penalties. They have a penalty on offense because the thing is, against the Panthers game, they were clean that game. That was a clean game from them, right? No false starts, nothing like that. Everything was clean, right? That's the kind of game they're going to need that game again, because if they come in here and they have penalties and holding calls, thank God the NFL's not calling holding like they usually do. But if there's holding calls and stuff like that, they're going to be in trouble. So they need to just stay on schedule, and I think they'll be fine.
I think your best point was talking about how they need to run the ball out of 11 personnel, because you saw what happened when they tried to run the ball. Buccaneers, your first example, against cover one, and this is why cover one is such a great run defense, because you've got guys, key in the tight end, key in the back, and everyone's flowing straight to a run when there is a run, right?
Yeah.
So, having the 11 personnel out there and winning in the passing game is going to open up the run game.
Yep.
So but it's easier said than done because this is a fantastic passing defense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great defense, man, all around. But they had Tom Brady confused, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're going to try to come out and confuse Derek Carr right away. I think that's something we might see in the second half. They have a lot of success. They're going to try to hit the cover sevens and stuff like that, and try to show him different stuff. It depends on how Derek Carr plays. I think that's how the game's going to flow. Derek Carr plays well, you're going to see a lot more exotic stuff from Dennis Allen. But if they control the game, he's not going to get as exotic because he's going to think he can play whatever his main coverage is and stop the Raiders. So
I mean, I also think if the ground game takes off, it's going to limit what Dennis Allen can do.
That's true.
Once the Raiders start getting it, playing, if they start playing from behind, playing catch up, if they're in a whole bunch of second and longs, third and long situations, Dennis Allen can call whatever. It's the entire playbook is opened up to him, right? But if the run game is humming, it's going to simplify that defensive game plan for sure.
Exactly. All right, Beatty. So you ready? Let's kick us off with some offense. A little what Drew Brees was looking like last week. What do we expect from the Saints offense?
We all know about Jared Cook, right? Raider Nation. He's on the Saints now. Okay. And it shouldn't surprise you that he's one of their main passing targets, just going off of, the couple of years that he was in Oakland. And if you watch the podcast, if you watch enough Raiders football, this play should be familiar to you, right? The sail concept with the scissors, that post from the slot, and then the number 3 wide receiver runs the sail route. Raiders run this all the time. So again, no surprise that Jared Cook is running this same route that Darren Waller runs, in a West Coast offense, and they're going to hit him here, Jared Cook. Okay. And, and we all know, again, Jared Cook is a dangerous receiver. Michael Thomas is going to be out. Raiders got to stop this guy. He's a big part of their offense. So what else makes Jared Cook, and again, we all know about Jared Cook. What else makes Jared Cook so dangerous? He can play wide receiver too. He's not just a tight end. He doesn't have to have his hand in the dirt to win. And we see him here. Bucks are playing a vision defense, meaning their eyes are on the quarterback, and that corner just lets Jared Cook get behind him, for a huge gain here. So
I don't think he thought Drew Brees could throw that far. Look at him. Yeah, right. He doesn't think it. He doesn't. He's surprised.
Drew Brees is good for a couple of those a game.
Yeah, he probably put his arm in ice after that, bro.
Right. The other thing the Raiders are going to need to worry about is Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara. The way that they are used is very exotic. Okay, Taysom Hill has an entire package of plays for him in the Saints defense. And really, I think my opinion, I might be 100% wrong on this.
Yeah.
But I think that the reason why the Saints do this, where they have these plays for Taysom Hill,
yeah,
is just so that when defenses have to prepare for the Saints, they have to go over all these stupid Wildcat packages.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because Taysom Hill is not a quarterback. All right, he's a back, but they use him in just crazy variations in different ways, and he is a fantastic athlete. He can take off running like he did here on this play to gain a first down.
Yeah.
And when you see this as a defensive coordinator, when you know that they're going to have a package of plays for a guy, maybe he's throwing it, maybe he's running it, maybe he's running a read option, who knows what the heck he's doing out here, right? It makes it difficult. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's another Taysom Hill play. Is he running a screen? No, he's going to throw the ball downfield on a little trick play to Alvin Kamara. And Alvin Kamara is a real dangerous receiving threat out of the backfield. So both their backs are not used in traditional ways. They're used in the passing game. And this is really going to keep Paul Guenther up at night. I mean, Paul Guenther has his hands full figuring out how to stop, these packages of plays that they have for Taysom Hill, to stop one or two of them from being huge chunk plays, because I think that the Saints really rely on this package of plays to generate, a chunk play game, and they might only do it, five, 6 times where they have Taysom Hill doing something crazy.
Yeah.
But they know it causes enough stress on the defense that it could result in something like this, some trickeration. And Sean Payton is a fantastic play designer, play caller, so he's going to have even, more variations tucked up his sleeve.
Okay. Yeah, he played 11 snaps too, so he's gonna play too. He's gonna be on the field a lot more than you think.
Yeah, and he makes an impact, because even though he only plays 11 snaps, it's just the different looks that he's going to give defenses, and the amount that they're going to have to prepare worrying about a guy who's only going to play 11 snaps. It's probably, he probably leads the league in terms of defensive game plans drawn up to stop him, minus the amount of snaps you actually play in a game.
Yeah, annoying.
Taysom Hill. All right, and then we saw Alvin Kamara before receiving on a little trick play here, getting a big chunk, and then this is, I think, next. I think this is 2 plays later, same drive. Alvin Kamara, this little screen out of the backfield, fantastic receiving option out of the backfield. He is a threat. He's really going to put stress on a defense, whether it's screens, whether it's running routes downfield. He's one of, these running backs, these modern NFL running backs who are better receivers than they are runners, in my opinion. Yeah. Not saying he's a bad runner, he's a good runner, but I think he's a lot like Christian McCaffrey in that he's not an elite runner, but he's an elite receiving threat out of the backfield. So a good runner. A good runner, right? A good runner, elite receiver.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's going to make it's going to cause a lot of stress on the Raiders defense. Something that I thought was really surprising was the amount of 3rd and longs that the Saints had in this game. And, like playoff teams usually do, okay, they converted them. And it just, if the Raiders have any chance in this game, when they get into these 3rd and longs, they have to get off the field, right? They stop the run. With Drew Brees, he's not his arm isn't what it used to be. We saw some good throws earlier in the game, but there's a lot of examples, and Marcus, you can attest to this, of Drew Brees throwing some ducks into the ground and just not reaching his receivers at all, putting them into 3rd and long situations. But again, the Saints are a fantastic team, fantastic offense. They find a way to convert, even when it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 13, something like that. They still find a way to convert. This is one example of that not happening, and the Bucs end up sending a 6-man pressure. Okay, and right now it looks like it's a 5-man pressure with this linebacker up behind the nose guard, probably playing man on Alvin Kamara, but at the very last second, he goes ahead and blitzes. And what that does is that this delay blitz right here forces this center, okay, and this guard to try to combo on the 2 interior rushers. And I'm guessing they thought that Alvin Kamara was going to block Jason Pierre-Paul at the 3 technique. All right, but it just breaks down the pass protection, okay, sending this 6-man pressure. So it is possible you get in these 3rd and longs, you got to send some pressure. After Drew Brees, he's not going to be as slippery as Teddy Bridgewater, and really hoping that the chemistry hasn't developed on the offense enough to, recognize these run the side adjustments, have the pass protection down, everything that, obviously it will get there very soon for the Saints, but take advantage of the fact that there was a limited preseason and just put some stress on them and set some pressures. We talked about this before. This is not in Paul Guenther's makeup. It's not in his philosophy to send pressures all the time. But I definitely think, with the amount of third and longs that I saw in this last game and just watching the Saints convert third and long after third and long, the Raiders can't allow that to happen. They got to send some pressures here.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this: from watching their offense, do you feel like they're really run heavy? Do you feel like they're super run heavy this year?
I felt like the Saints have been run heavy for a while, actually. I think
Yeah.
they're a big running team. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I do think that they've been a running team for sure. I mean, I just feel like it was a little more.
Balanced.
Yes, and I feel like they're. I think that this is gonna sound crazy when I say this, guys. It's gonna sound crazy, but I think the Raiders need to force Drew Brees to beat them,
Yes.
and like force Drew Brees to throw the ball 40 times, and that's got to be the goal. We want to. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, and he might be able to do it, but I think the Raiders have to take that chance. I think they can't let these other things happen because they beat the Bucs without Drew Brees, basically. Like Drew Brees wasn't really a huge factor in that game. He made a couple throws
Right.
that were good throws, right? But most of their points came off of either Bucs turnovers, block field goals, great field position. There was a lot of things in there that factored into why the Saints were able to put up 34 points. It wasn't just the offense and Drew
The
Brees just tearing them apart.
defense. The
Yeah.
defense won that game for them.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So it's as crazy as that sounds. The Raiders need to have Drew Brees throw the ball 40 times and try to act like he's 2013 Drew Brees. That's basically what the Raiders got to do. They got to force him back into that type of mindset. And because I think while the passing game, for the Saints is good, I think it's more of the weakness this year, especially with Michael Thomas out.
Right.
It's more of the weakness of this offense is the passing game. So
I'll add this caveat. If this is again early in the year, the chemistry, Michael Thomas is not there, or he's have some lingering injury, right?
Yeah.
So the chemistry that Drew Brees expects from these wide receivers is probably not where it's going to be eventually. It's going to get there for the Saints. I mean, come on, we're talking about the Saints here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I invite anyone, go back and watch the game. If you have NFL Game Pass, if you want to look at some, some game highlights, scroll through Twitter and find it. You're going to see a lot of bad throws from Drew Brees, and it could be that his receivers aren't running the right routes. It could be that his protection is breaking down. It might not just be Drew Brees, but the passing offense was not humming.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm with you. Drew Brees, the arm strength isn't quite there as it used to be, and it's easier for a team to go in no offseason and just run the ball than all the factors that have to go right to pass the ball efficiently, right?
Yeah.
So take advantage of the fact that you're playing these guys earlier in the year. Yes, stop that run, stop that rushing attack, make Drew Brees beat you. He's going to see it, but if unless he's gotten unless the chemistry and everything like that has drastically improved from one week to the next, they're not going to have, a great passing game, or at least they shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. So that's kind of the game plan that we think the Raiders should go with for week one. Definitely appreciate you guys coming and listening. So we did get a chance. All 22 finally came out. we're happy about that, and we did get a chance to kind of look over the Raiders game again. So anything you thought you saw different? Anything change in your mind, BD? 22.
So I was finally able to go through chart everything on defense. For the listeners or for the people who are just now watching, tuning in, Marcus charts the offense. I chart the defense. And so I noticed some things, and I just, put some things into a spreadsheet, and I, crunch some numbers after I get done charting. And the Raiders were really, really good in single high coverages, especially cover 3, which is interesting. We talked about that a little bit on the last show. But as far as, being a pass defense, cover 3 was by far their best option. They gave up the fewest yards per play while they were in cover 3. So it'll be interesting to see if that, continues. But, that's a huge departure from what we've seen the last 2 years under Paul Gunther. So, I confirm, thought that for sure. I didn't have the entire all 22 to confirm it, but now that I got the all 22, I can confirm that for the listeners. Raiders played a heavy dose of cover 3, and they did really good at it.
Yeah. And that was interesting, man. And I kind of went through and watched the defense a little bit today, and it was just interesting to see that and how effective it was, and how good Jonathan Abram was at free safety too. I think that was interesting, that he was able to play free safety, because he did it at Mississippi State, and a lot of people just label him a box safety because he's crazy and he can hit, but he did play a lot of free safety at Mississippi State too. So I thought that was very interesting that they thought that he could do that too. So I thought that was interesting. One thing I saw that I thought was very excited about was the play of Colton Miller. I thought Colton Miller was very, very good in that game, and I thought he showed a lot of better technique. And even when one play on the Derek Carr 23-yard touchdown, it was probably the only play he had bad technique on it, right? And Brian Burns was able to get his long arm in there and get a bull rush. But the difference this year with Colton Miller and Colton Miller the year before is that he didn't just get knocked over. He was able to anchor and reset himself, and he kept a good base, and he was able to, hold the line and give Derek Carr enough time to get that pass off without he even feeling the pressure. And I was super impressed just by that, because it shows a lot of growth. We never really saw an anchor from, and just for the people who are listening, an anchor is when an offensive lineman is getting bull rushed, right? You want the offensive lineman to put his base into the ground, like his feet into the ground, and keep a nice little base, and not allow the bull rush to anchor and basically control the bull rush while the guy pushes on him, right? I'm trying to, that's my best offensive lineman description you're gonna get from me, but but that's the anchor, and that's what Colton Miller was able to do. He was able to anchor and reset himself, and not allow the bull rush, even though he left his chest open, and allow the long arm into his chest. So I thought that was super impressive, because that just tells me that he's able to recover, and he's able to beat some counters. So if he's gonna play like that,
Yeah, well,
I'm excited.
First of all, I've always liked Colton Miller.
Yeah.
He was my second highest rated tackle back when they took him.
Oh,
so
I gave him a 3rd-round grade myself, to be honest.
No, bro, no.
I actually got taught. It's funny. Like, I actually got because I did a draft guide for InsideThePylon.com, and I was doing offensive lineman, and the draft. The reason why I ended up ending with that draft grade is because I actually gave him a really high grade at first, and then they talked me down through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, through debate, because his technique wasn't good. But I was like, he's an athletic freak, and he just, so they talked me down a little bit. But I ended up with a 3rd-round grade on him after being like, especially, I'm gonna listen to Dan. If Dan Hatman's telling me, the head of the scouting academy, just scouting and stuff, he's telling me that maybe I should bring it down a little bit.
Right.
I'm gonna listen. You know what I mean? But
yeah. But I say that because I'm trying to tell Raider Nation I'm not a Colton Miller hater. Majority of Raider Nation is probably a Colton Miller hater. I'm not one of them. But what I will say about this, Brian Burns is like a 240-pound edge rusher, and Colton Miller has never struggled against speed rushers. He struggles against power rushers.
Okay.
And Cameron Jordan is a power rusher.
Yeah.
So if he's over there, on the offensive left side, that's going to be a bigger tell if Colton Miller's anchor has really improved, or if he's just not getting pushed around by a 240-pound lanky, guy. I know that, like you're saying, he had the arm, he had the long arm. He was able to convert that speed to power. But Colton Miller's not getting walked back by a little guy. He's going to get walked back by these big 270-pound, 280-pound defensive ends. He'll get walked back by those guys. So we'll see how much Colton Miller really has improved.
That was the only time he had his chest open. But you're right. If he makes that mistake against Cameron Jordan, it's gonna be a little different.
It'll be different.
You're right about that. You are 100% right about that. It's gonna go a little different. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like his rookie year, he left his chest open a lot, and that was my big thing with him when he's coming out. That his hands were never inside, and he loved to do the little bear hug thing. And you leave your chest exposed with some of these guys, like Frank Clark did to him. That's what's going to happen. So, but his hands were more inside this year, so I don't expect that much. But if he does make that mistake like he did against Brian Burns, you're right. You're pretty right about that, especially with Cameron Jordan.
Any other thoughts that you had from watching the All-22 that we didn't share with the guys last time?
Darren Waller is getting bracketed like crazy. Like that, it's nuts how much. There's one play, BD. There's 3 guys on him. 3 guys. It was the check down, like on the final drive, the check down that went to 18 yards to Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs made a stuttering here, but Josh Jacobs made a couple guys miss. He had 3 guys on him.
Right.
There's 3 guys on Darren Waller. It is crazy. That was crazy. So the NFL, they got some respect for Darren. Let's just say that they respect him.
Right.
And
he's going to keep on seeing that until we get a little bit more consistency from the rest of the wide receiver corps. So until that happens, Darren Waller, you're in for some tough sledding, I would say.
Yeah, because Carr's not going to throw it to you with 3 people around. Let's just it's not going to happen.
No. If 3 people are around, that means the check down is waiting.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs, 18 yards. We'll take that.
Yeah, right. That works for me too.
I know, right? All right. Any other thoughts, BD, before we head out? This is a quick show for you guys, quick preview. Yeah. It's going to be like that. Next week, actually, on a preview, we're going to have Taylor Keys from, what is it? The SB Nation. Covers the Patriots for SB Nation.
Yeah, right. Pat's Pulpit, I think is what it's called.
Pat's Pulpit, that's what it is. I'm trying to remember the name. Pat's Pulpit. He's going to come through and break down a little Patriots for us next week, get us ready for that game. Probably talk about a little bit Cam Newton. He's a great guy, great mind. So it's going to be an awesome show with him. And so should be ready for that next week. We're going to be doing these previews. Probably we're going to have some guests and stuff like that. So it's going to be a big year for us. So like I said, hit that subscribe button, guys. Follow me and BD on Twitter at BDWilliams18. Follow me at TheMarkJohnNFL. Hit subscribe if this is your first time. Like I said, we appreciate every subscriber that joined us, all the comments. We appreciate all the love that you guys have been showing us. So it's a lot of Raiders podcasts, they don't have that many subscribers like we had in a month. So we're really grateful. We really appreciate that. So much love to that. Much love to all you guys who are joining us, and we appreciate it.
All right, Raider Nation. See you next week.
See you next week.